revved up, and this is the way they're approaching it. But getting the extra penalty is not the right way to go about it.
Well, the North Stars, I would imagine, in this situation, just say thank you very much. And we'll go back on our 6th power play opportunity. No, Acton has, he'll have something to say.
I'd love to mic that guy for a night.
And Glenn, you know Glenn's in it.
Oh, yes. There's the brain trust there. Well, no, I'm looking for Dick Dillman I'm talking about.
Glenn may go after Pulford.
Well, yeah. There's the brain trust. Dick Dillman down at the end there. People think that these first 4 guys are making the decisions, huh? Us insiders, we know it's the last 2. It's Dick and...
Jody Presti, he even brought help this time.
Well, you need a little extra in this building.
Chicago fan.
Is so tough because you can't look at him. You're fighting with someone in front, and you just say, please don't let it be me that gets hit with this shot. But in that case, it was Gordy Roberts. And then the rebound went right out to Lorimer, and Taco couldn't stop to see how Roberts was feeling. He had to come up with a spectacular save to keep this game even. Gordy Roberts is really hurt. You know, that just numbs your leg. It just paralyzes your leg. You can't put any weight on it. It's not that some guys can fight the pain and some can't. There are times, I don't care how tough you think you are, when your leg goes numb from a shot, you don't stand up till that goes away. And here we're going to see it again. Wilson just lets her rip again, and there's the traffic in front. Gordy's been hit. Now Taco has to slide across. 2-pad slide, as we call it, and he gets those big white pillows in front of it. And I don't know. I wish Carey would stand up a little bit. Wilson made a bad choice here, and the North Stars are saying, all right, because here's Wilson. I mean, he's inside the circle. He could have cranked it. He gives it back to Ben Wilson, who doesn't have nearly as good or accurate a shot. And he throws it up there, but you see the traffic. The key there is not just making the save. Kerry Taco knew he'd have to control the rebound, so when Wilson threw it up off the ice, Taco knew he had to glove it and control it, which he did.
You saw that Ben has put in a few red lights in his career, but you're right, there's nothing like Doug.
No, I'm surprised Wilson didn't want to shoot there. That's kind of his range.
Face-off goes to the left to Taco. 17 seconds left in the penalty time to Brook.
Harold Ballard, give us a picture of Harold.
He's not here, is he?
He's sitting right over the W in Hawk. There's Harold Ballard in the middle there. He's very proud of his team, and he's looking at the dollar signs with at least 2 sellouts at playoff prices in Maple Leaf Gardens. And in this division, I can't.
The glass isn't in place yet, and now they have a ladder on the ice, and they're still working on it here at Chicago Stadium, where the Leafs trail 2-0. Harry, I want to know, why isn't your hair white like Pulford's and Brophy's? You coached in this league.
You got that straight. I don't know why. Those 2 guys maybe didn't enjoy it as much as I did. There's Reggett drying his hand off. He does that all the time. So when he flicks his catching hand out, the glove doesn't go off it.
Playoff preview as Winnipeg beat Calgary 3-1. Washington nips New Jersey 6-5 in overtime. St. Louis and Detroit tied 2-2 in the third. A tie would give the Wings first place in the Norris. Quebec doubles Boston 6-3. The Nordiques are coming on as the playoffs are almost here. Buffalo leading Hartford 5-0. Last place beating first place there. And Montreal is going to make it 9 straight. They're whipping the Rangers 7-1 in the third period. The Islanders in Philadelphia tied 5-5 in the second, so a high-scoring game at the Spectrum tonight.
Well, you know, these two teams out here tonight are going to make the playoffs, I don't think, unless Chicago blows this. Actually, it's a 3-goal lead they've got, because, you know, if they get a tie, they're in. And only 2 teams in the history of the National Hockey League Stanley Cup have won the Cup with a less than 500 record. 1937-38, Chicago, 48-49, Toronto. There's the backup goalie, Pang, 5'4", 145. He'd be a pretty good goalie in a short series, wouldn't he, Bruce?
Well, I would have been a goaltender if I played this game, because I'm about the same size, a little taller.
I guess Pang arrived at practice.
The Penguins did have some good opportunities. We mentioned it several times in the first period that the Penguins did have good scoring chances, but they just missed the net. There's the scoring play. Again, Doug Bodger scoring for the Penguins from Ron Duguay and Warren Young, and the goal coming at 3:50 of the first period of play. The Penguins on the road tonight, trying to make it 3 wins in a row on the season. They're tied with New Jersey and Philadelphia for the top spot in the Patrick Division. All 3 clubs enter tonight's action with records of 2-0. All right, and we tell you once again, at the end of the first period, the score: the Penguins 1, the Chicago Blackhawks 0 on the Penguins.
In a season to remember, and yes, indeed it is, join Steve and Al Albert for a look at the 1986 New York Mets. Don't miss the News 9 special Mets Mania this Friday at 8:30 here on Channel 9, and the World Series begins in New York Saturday night.
It'd be nice for them to be able to put their legs up and relax.
So Dave Archibald does a good job of coming back. Now Presley said, hey, I can't get the puck anyway. I'm going to go down. Now, if that penalty's called right in front of the net, you know it's not a dive. When it happens away from the play like that, where the player chasing the puck, like Presley, he says, I'm not going to get the puck. I may as well try for the dive and see if I can draw the penalty. And, of course, he did. I'm not saying it wasn't a bit of a penalty. I'm just saying the difference in that penalty being called was the fact that Presley did the spin and went down, whereas he probably could have stood up.
First one, the right part of your screen, you're going to see the second one. You don't see the actual penalty, but he was pulled down in much the same way as Verbeek was pulled down.
So the Devils, who have had a red-hot power play, have not had one tonight. They are 0 for 5. They get their 6th chance coming up.
See, right in the center of your screen, right behind there.
That's the one that was called. 44 seconds left to go.
And Gary, we saw Tommy Curvers go off earlier with trainer Chris Ibsen. And Chris Ibsen has just come back by him.
Penalty, and the Hawks have been unable to get near Reagan.
After 3:17 away from registering a victory over the Chicago Blackhawks, another victory. And it's such a wonderful feeling when you're sitting there, you're patting each other, you're saying, come on guys, every shift is so important. Let's do the job defensively. And that's something that the Leafs have had trouble with all year, Bob, how to play solid hockey behind their own blue line. But by the same token, the Blackhawks also had a lot of difficulty stopping people from getting that puck in their net.
On a power play earlier in this third period, Darryl Sutter had tied the game at 2 for Chicago. And then Lehman got a goal at 6:09 to give the Leafs a 3-2 lead. And Walt Podupny in the crease area knocked one in behind Sauvé at 9:28. And the Leafs have a 4-2 lead.
Right now, Lehman stands up as the game winner.
Well, the way things have been going for the Hawks tonight, the pass across the goal mouth to Savard, get an empty net chance, and he fanned on it the first time, and then he was able to recover and advance it into the net. The Doug Wilson shot, slowed up by Secord, kicked to Larmer across. Savard fanned on his first attempt, but was able to recover and put it into the empty net. Secord with a lot of guts standing in front of that Wilson shot. It hit him, he kicked it to Larmer.
And here's Claudel Washington. Washington is nothing out of 2. Barkov rolled into a double.
Round by Sean Burr. Boy, if he knew he had number 20, Tim Higgins, right in front, he might have elected to pass. But tell you, with that much time left and that much urgency with the score the way it is, you just come around and try and jam it home yourself.
And there you see the last ditch shot as time expired in regulation. It is an even hockey game, obviously at 2. I say that because we draw attention to the shots on goal, which are all but even. Chicago 32, Detroit 31. Yzerman has both goals for the Red Wings, one in the first, one in the second. But in the third period, Steve Larmer scored from Savard and Sutter at 2:36, and as Jacques Demers gets a rest for he and his troops, Troy Murray scored from Fraser at 18:18.
Tom, that was an important flurry for Detroit at the end of the period. Let's face it, we have not seen Detroit put any pressure on the Chicago end for virtually this whole period. When you're going into overtime, when the momentum has been right on top of you, and that's what Chicago has been doing to Detroit in the third period, it's nice to know that there is a chance that it will not continue, and prove to yourself, even if it's for a short 15, 20, 30 seconds, when the game ends, yes, we still have it, and they can collapse too. We had them on the ropes, and we came very close to winning the game in the last couple of seconds.